the fuck is the JTTF? You guys are probably wondering. JTTF stands for Joint Terrorism Task Force. So guys, every big major field office in the United States for the FBI has a JTTF. And basically what that is it is a partnership between several different agencies, both federal, state, local, municipal. All of them sit at the FBI field office and they work together to prevent terrorist attacks. Okay. So you got Homeland Security there, aka like my people, Homeland Security Investigations. You got DEA there, you got ATF there, you got Diplomatic Security Service, you got Secret Service there, you got State Department, you got everybody there. And then on top of that, you got, depending on what state you're in, right? In this case, it's going to be Massachusetts. You got Massachusetts State Police there. You got Boston Police Department there. You got Suffolk County Sheriff's Office. You got every single agency sits at that JTTF location. They all have a top secret SCI clearance, and they investigate basically national counterterrorism and national security. And when you're a member of the JTTF, you're a task force officer, for lack of a better term, and you get FBI authority, right, to investigate crimes against the United States that involve terrorism, all right, and national security. So he's a part of the JTTF. He's an FBI agent, a special agent, right? But you can definitely be like let's say because when I worked for HSI, right, we had a couple guys assigned to the JTTF. When you work for the JTTF as a special agent from Homeland Security, you still can do terrorism cases with the FBI. You can be the lead agent on a terrorism case as an HSI agent, you know, because you are under the JTTF umbrella. Okay, so you work for Homeland Security Investigations, but you are assigned to the Joint Terrorism Task Force. Does that make sense, guys? And you know what? I can do the Times Square. When I do the Times Square bombing case for y'all one day, that case was actually done by an HSI agent. You know, let me see if I can pull it up for y'all right now. Times Square bombing criminal complaint. Let's see if I can get this thing. I'm almost certain it was an HSI agent that did this case. Oh, let's see here. If I'm right, I'm fucking on point. Let's see. Nope, not that one. Okay, I digress. I think it was it the underwear bomber then? Maybe it was the underwear bomber. Okay. Anyway, let's keep going. During my tenure as an agent, I've participated in numerous national security investigations. I've received extensive training and experience in the conduct of national security investigations and those matters involving domestic and international terrorism. Okay, and just so you guys know, the FBI is the lead agency when it comes to terrorism. If you're doing a case and then you find like a terrorism nexus, you are mandated to contact the FBI. And when I say you contact the FBI, you contact the FBI Joint Terrorism Task Force. Okay. During my employment with the FBI, I've conducted and participated in many investigations involving violations of the United States laws relating to the provision of material support to terrorism. I participated in the execution of numerous federal search and arrest warrants in such investigations. You guys are probably wondering, what is material support to terrorism? Basically funding it. You know, so if you give aid, finances, protection, whatever it is, to someone that's a terrorist, it's obviously a federal crime. I've had extensive training in many methods used to commit acts of terrorism contrary to United States law. This affidavit, and this agent was new, guys. Remember, this was back in 2013. This guy had only been on the job for about 4 years. This affidavit is supported in support of an application for a complaint charging Dzhokhar Tsarnaev of Cambridge, Massachusetts, for using a weapon of mass destruction against persons and property at the Boston Marathon on April 15, 2013, resulting in death. And 3 people died, guys, from this bombing. And I'm going to show you guys exactly where it went off as well. We're going to go into the Google Maps and do all that as well. So more specifically, I submit this affidavit in support of an application for a complaint charging Dzhokhar Tsarnaev with 1, unlawfully using and conspiring to use a weapon of mass destruction, namely an improvised explosive device, aka an IED, against persons and property within the United States used in interstate and foreign commerce and in an activity that affects interstate and foreign commerce, which offense and its resulted affected interstate and foreign commerce, including, but not limited to, the Boston Marathon, private businesses in eastern Massachusetts, and the city of Boston itself, resulting in death in violation of 18 U.S.C. 233A, and 2, maliciously damaging and destroying by means of explosive real and personal property used in interstate and foreign commerce and in an activity affecting interstate and foreign commerce, resulting in personal injury and death in violation of 18 U.S.C. Okay, translate that to English. Hey, you blew up some shit that affects the United States' ability to conduct commerce because these are businesses, right? And you blew up not only businesses, you affected an international race, you hurt civilians, and all of this affects interstate commerce. So now us, the FBI, is coming in, asshole, because you've affected interstate commerce, which means now the feds have jurisdiction. Okay, that's basically what he's saying there. And he's obviously they have to word it in a certain way so that it covers all bases. But anytime you affect interstate commerce when you're committing a crime, 9 out of 10 times you're gonna now you hit for federal jurisdiction and they can take the case. Okay, and we talked about this with RICO. We talked about this with kidnapping. We talked about this with child pornography. When you affect interstate commerce, guys, that is how the feds get in. Okay, let's continue on. You guys enjoying the show so far? Give me some ones in the chat. I'm already giving y'all a bunch of heat. Man, do you learn anything?
I'm learning a lot.
You are?
I really am.
Okay, awesome.
I watch a lot of true crime, but nothing
This
like
is the true crime.
This is the true crime.
This is the true crime. Okay. So this affidavit, really important. So every affidavit, you always got to put this into. Remember how I told you guys you need that boilerplate language? Like the first one is your I love me paragraph where you talk about yourself. And then this part is where you talk about this part right before you go into the facts. You always tell the judge that's going to sign it, this is not the entire investigation. I'm merely writing enough to get probable cause. This is not everything. This affidavit is based upon my personal involvement in this investigation, my training experience, my review of relevant evidence, and information supplied to me by other law enforcement officers. It does not include each and every fact known to me about the investigation, but rather only the facts that I believe are sufficient to establish requisite probable cause. And the other thing, too, I want to tell you guys as well. When you're doing a criminal complaint, 9 out of 10 times, you got the guy in custody and you're trying to bring him in front of a judge. You're trying to get him into the court system. So you're going to go ahead and charge the easiest charge to charge with the least amount of evidence required just so that you can get him in jail. And once he's in jail, boom, now you and the AUSA can work together and work on a more formal indictment. Okay, that's going to be a little bit stronger. But the criminal complaint is merely a piece of, it's merely a court document that allows you to put cuffs on a guy, throw him in jail so that you can go ahead and get everything else together. Because when you're building a federal case, guys, it's not like a regular state case. You got to have a lot of evidence. So you do the minimum required, get him in jail, work with your AUSA, then you come back a week or two later, because after you arrest someone, you have about 10 to 14 days, depending on this district, to indict them, which an indictment, guys, is a formal charge, okay, by a grand jury. A criminal complaint is not enough to criminally charge them. It's just enough to get them in jail, but not enough to actually get a court case with federal prosecution that is criminal. That's why when you look at the case number, right,